Oh, hello everyone and welcome. I'm just getting everything sorted out and then I'll be right with you.
He also competed in the Olympic Games 4 times. The Prince was the only car driver to have competed in Formula One until Alex Albon in 2019. This circuit is made up of 14 corners, the last of which is banked at a staggering 19 degrees, making it twice as steep as the banking seen at the Indianapolis Speedway. Jim Clark is one of the most successful drivers here at Zandvoort. In a 5-year period between 1963 to 1967, he took no less than 4 victories, with Jack Brabham breaking up his winning streak in 1966. Given that modern era F1 has only raced at circuits.
All right, hello and welcome to the Dutch Grand Prix for ESRL. Oh boy. Well, you can see by the weather that this is going to be an interesting qualifying session. Let's get everything enabled. Looks like Inters for now, and no one's really in a rush to get out on track. So I would assume that means that it's not going to dry up anytime soon. Oh, it's not going to get any wetter anytime soon, rather. It may well dry up towards the end of the session, so we'll have to keep an eye on everything. But it looks like Robinette is going to be the first to set a lap. But it's great to be back. We're back with ESRL. It's fantastic to be here. It looks like crossplay has been enabled for this season. So fingers crossed that all is well. But great, fantastic to be back, it really is. I do apologise for missing last week's race, the season opener for ESRL, season number 5. Just had to miss out last week due to personal reasons, but it's fantastic to be back. And on a wet Zandvoort qualifying, I mean, what better way to come back into ESRL? Robinette is going to be the first to set a lap. He's cut off the back of a race win in APPF1, a league closely affiliated with ESRL. He won the Elite Division race in Qatar after everyone on the entire grid got penalties for track limits except for him, and he won by a 10th as a result. It was a fantastic race. We'll see if he can repeat that feat today in Zandvoort for ESRL. We'll ride on board with him for a lap of this damp circuit through turn 1. I'm going to get the power down early in the dry, but in the wet, you've just got to keep it on the circuit. Turn 2, similar principle through 2 and 3, and now this banked left-hander, very wide line from Robinette to get the best exit in these wet conditions. And now down this usually flat-out straight. Is Robinette going to lift a little bit? Nope, flat out all the way through. And now this right-hander that's very, very quick in the dry. In the wet, just got to be a bit more careful, excuse me. And now down to this right-hander in the second sector. Usually the DRS detection point would be around here, but obviously it's wet conditions and a big slide from Robinette. Obviously locked the rears or the fronts or something through the braking zone of that corner. So that's going to cost him a lot of time, but it is the wet, remember, so he will be able to go again for another attempt after this one straight away. But through that slow section of track, and now the final 2 corners for the Frenchman. Through the penultimate corner, and now this usually flat out corner does lift a little bit in these tricky conditions. Already there's a Haas that's spun at the back, but Robinette sets the initial pace at 21.95. But Matthew immediately beats it, and Speed beats it by a mile, a 19.9 from the other Ferrari. And B. Kakba, I do apologise if I'm butchering your name, sir, but I've heard great things about him from the PC leagues in ESRL. So, and obviously 13 thousandths behind Speed Alcoholic in this early stage. Short Marcus, the sprint champion in P3. I saw he had a torrid time in the last race in the season opener last week, and I hear he's not enjoying this game as much as 22, which he's in the minority for, but very, very valid opinion to have. Cialda P4, TF Mar 10 destroys Speed's time, 6/10 faster nearly, and he takes provisional pole for now. Cialda had a fantastic battle with him in the Cockpit Cam Championship last season. I'm taking a breather from that championship this season around. But fantastic battle with him. I came out on top in the end, but it was a shame that it wasn't more of a battle in the final race. But Ayrton, the reigning champ, the 3-time defending champion of ESRL, rockets to provisional pole position. Is anyone surprised? I know I'm not. This man, absolutely outrageous on the last game, and it seems he's carried his pace over to F1 23. Bikakba has improved as well by about 4/10 on his last best, and he's up to P3 as a result. So everyone still improving. Clopit as well, keep an eye on him. He was very fast in the sprints. Yola Da as well. Where is... yes, Donev. He's not done a lap yet, but he is absolutely rapid as well, so keep an eye on this man in the AlphaTauri this season. Down towards the line, and that is proof. An 18.3 destroys Ayrton's time. Well ahead is Donev, and that is very, very impressive. And I wonder if the track is drying out or not. It's certainly going to be getting a better line on the track, but I don't know if it's going to be drying out for sure. But Clopit goes up to P2, and Ayrton improves again to P2, but still half a second down on Donev. It's a short lap around here, so you can't, so blink and you miss the lap times. Cialda improves as well. DRL Lancer as well in the Alpha. He's up to P8. A lot of new faces. It's going to take me a while to get used to them all, but it's fantastic to see. Speed Alcoholic, P5. Trugster's on an outlap as well. And look at that, Matthew, who was provisional pole not that long ago, is now last of the people that have done a time. And that is how quickly this track is evolving. Short Marcus up to P5. Clopit, I think, improved to P3 as well in the Aston Martin. And still 10.5 minutes to go with this session. This is going to be quite the qualifying session, I am sure. A lot of fast people in this division now. It's great to see. And, you know, I don't wish any ill on Ayrton. I'm racing together with him in as representing ESRL tomorrow in EOR. We'll be teammates together, so I wish no ill on Ayrton, but it would be nice to see someone challenge him for the title this season. As just as I say that, Clopit improves again to P2 this time, ahead of the defending champ. Short Marcus on a lap, doesn't look like he's improving. Speed, the same story. I think might be out of fuel. Yeah, he's heading into the pits. Bikakba is improving, 6/10 up through Sector 2. Keep an eye on this Williams as he files through Sector 3, the slow section of the track, and down towards the final couple of corners. Looked very hooked up together through that final penultimate corner, but look, he's out of ERS down the straight, and how much time is that going to cost the Williams driver? Is down across the line in 18.5, he's up to P2. I think the ERS would have cost him maybe half a tenth or so, if not a little bit more, but it wouldn't be enough to put him on pole anyway, but still very impressive from Bikakba. Please tell me if I'm pronouncing your name completely wrong after the race, but I'm going to go with Bikakba for now. We've got DRL Lancer up to P4. This track is evolving very quickly. It's definitely raining a lot less than it was earlier. I do wonder if we're going to be dry by the end, as Donev just improves again by another half second, and he's smashing it out there at the moment. A 17.7, 8.5 tenths ahead of Bikakba. Incredible stuff from Donev, who goes for another championship charge this season, hopefully, after missing out last season due to having to miss the last race. But Martin now down to P6. as everyone goes for another lap. Is Lancer going for another lap? It looks like he's low on fuel, but I'm not sure how true that is. Bikakba through the final corner. He's going to be heading into the pits. Is Denev on another lap? Don't think he's on another lap. Wow, that was a lot of throttle he was putting on there. Okay, he is not on another lap. But DRL Lancer, I think, is coming across the line to complete another lap in the Alfa Romeo. Through the final corner, is he peeling into the pits? He's peeling into the pits, never mind. Martin, though, he's definitely on a lap. Coming to the line now, an 18.1 puts him up to P2. That's much better from the Red Bull driver. Ayrton is out on an out lap. Speed Alcoholic the same. Cialda is on a lap as well, already 4.5 tenths up. Sorry, no, that was the last lap. So Sector 1 already 1.5 tenths up in Sector 1. He's just 1,000th of a second behind Clemo. Look at that for P10. And Matthew in P12 at the moment. Robinet down in P13. Who's that improved? Denis Ivanov up to P3. Huge improvement from the Haas driver. And Robinet improves to P8 as well. It is definitely getting drier out there. I'm not sure if it's going to be slicks by the end. There's still quite a way to go. 7 minutes in the session. Cialda improving by over a second through Sector 2. So he's coming across the line as well in the Mercedes to perhaps get himself up into the top 5 here. Down through the final corner he comes in the Mercedes. What's it going to be for Cialda? Looking to mount a championship challenge in Division 1 potentially, and P4 he goes in the Mercedes. Wow, what a roller coaster of a qualifying session. NER Ayrton is P8 and he wasn't improving through Sector 1. What about Sector 2? Let's find out as he comes across the sector line now. No, still not improving. So yeah, I think he's backed out of that lap. He's going to try again. Matthew not improving either. Is Robinet on another lap? I'm not sure. No, he's not. Speed Alcoholic. He was challenging for the top. He's P13 and now he's up to P2. This session is outrageous. You cannot predict who's going to be on pole here at all. There's still 6 minutes to go and anything, absolutely anything can happen here. Ayrton, the defending champ, the 3-time champ, seemingly invincible champ. Coming through Sector 1, he's sitting P9 at the moment in his Haas. But that was very nice through that left-hander. Down through the next section of track, Sector 1. What's it going to be? He's up by 6 tenths in Sector 1 alone. And Ayrton, he is not out of the woods yet at all. Never, ever count this man out. He is outrageously good when he has to be. And it looks like he's going to be faced with quite a challenge this season. I think he did win race 1, but now with all these PC guys coming in for race 2, although he's 1.4 seconds up through Sector 2 alone, he's going to destroy Denev's time if he hooks up Sector 3. Here he comes, the defending champ. He's going to set out a benchmark here for everyone else. Speed Alcoholic goes pole. That shows you the track's improving. Down towards the line comes Ayrton. What's it going to be? A 16.7 destroys Speed's lap time. Denev is a second down. This track is getting faster and faster. It's going to be last across the line. Gets pole here perhaps. As Cialda is P6 but 1.4 seconds down on pole. Bikakpo is improving as well through Sector 2. What's it going to be across the line? It's a 17.6 up to P3 for the Williams. It's all happening out here. Denis Ivanov's improving as well. He's up to P2. It's a Haas 1-2 as it stands. Speed Alcoholic in P3. Denev in P4. Kloppik goes up to P3 now in the Aston. 4 minutes to go in this session still. It feels like there's a million years to go. It's incredible stuff. Is Cialda now coming across the line? Is he going to improve? Yes, he is, up to P3, a 16.9. I cannot call this session at all. And I don't think anyone else can either. DRL Lancer coming through Sector 1. Are we going to see slicks by the end, I wonder? Is anyone going to take the plunge? I don't think so. It is still raining. There is still spray out there. It's just improving so much, this track. Trugster, though, has put on the softs in the pit. I don't know if he's going to head out on track on those tyres. Lancer's not improving through Sector 1. Yola Die coming through Sector 1, he's backed out as well. Denev, he was on pole not long ago. About 2 minutes ago, he was on pole, and now he's in P8. This is incredible qualifying session. There's an Aston Martin round there. Denev's 5/10 up in Sector 1 alone. Can he hook up the next sector as well? 3 minutes to go in this session. Still a long way to go. Who's going to be last across the line? That's the question. As Denev comes through Sector 2 in his AlphaTauri. Looking pretty hooked up, maybe a little bit of a snap on entry to that corner, but I think he was fine. As he comes down through, and there was the sector line, 1.1 seconds up. He will take provisional pole as it stands. Ayrton is into the pits. He's going to go again on a fresh set to end off this session. That looked a bit squirrely from Denev through the slow section, but down through the last couple of corners, we're going to see if it was indeed squirrely. 2.5 minutes to go. It's still a long way to go in this session, given how quickly the track is improving. Denev across the line, and yeah, it did cost him that snap through the slow section. It cost him quite a lot, 3/10 at least, and he's only P4 as a result. It's still a Haas 1-2 as it stands. Clop it. On a lap as well, coming to the sector line for Sector 1, 4.5 up. He would already be on pole from Sector 1 improvement alone, as long as he hooks up the rest of the lap. This is absolutely incredible breakneck stuff here in this qualifying session. Short Marcus is up to P6 as well. When did that happen? Clemo's down in P9, but he's improving by 8/10. He could be up there. Robinet's up to P6 as well. Trugster has gone out on the softs for an outlap, and I think he's going to be the only one to do so. Ayrton, though, Dennis and Cialda all in the pits. They're all waiting for the right time. Cialda's just come out, as have the two Hasses. They're going to be just in time to try and be last across the line. Clemo comes across the line, goes pole, a 16.5. Is Trugster struggling on those softs? Looks like all of the top three, or the former top three, have gone out on inters. DRS has been enabled, though, and could that mean that Trugster has a chance of pole here? DRL Lancer now takes pole by a massive 9/10. Matthew, as well, is up to P4 in the Alpine. Cialda's on an outlap. Denev is just letting everyone through. He's trying to be last across the line. I don't think he's going to manage it, though. There's still 50 seconds in the session. He's got to be careful to not be too slow. Clop is coming across the line to start a lap. Robert, he's down to P9 now. Short Marcus down to P10. Speed down to P11. You cannot predict what's going to happen here. It does look dry out there, I've got to say. Yes, there's spray, but on the dry line it looks pretty good. Yola Die up to P2. Trugster's improving by 7.5, but he needs a lot more than that to challenge any further than the top 15 or so. Matthew, I think, improved. No, it was Clemo up to P4. No, it was Short Marcus up to P2, actually, in the Alpine. Trugster struggling on those soft tyres. Is he going to get in the way of this Ferrari Speed Alcoholic, who's also on a lap? I think he is. Speed's going to get unlucky here. He's still behind this AlphaTauri, and Trugster doesn't have to yield because he's on a lap as well. That's so unfortunate for the South African, but there's nothing he can do about it. Nothing Trugster can do either. That is it for this quali session. Speed coming through the final corners, but it's too late for him. The two Asses just about got across the line to start a lap. Right at the end of the session, they'll be the last across the line, which could really work out. Speed goes pole, even despite that. And I think Lancer is going to tumble down the order here if even Speed can get pole with well, if nothing against Speed, but he hit the car ahead. He clearly lost a lot of time. So if he can get pole with a lap like that, anything can change. It's Godzilla up to P4. Big Kakpa, 14.8 sets the pace now. Sean Marcus coming across the line. There's an Aston Martin coming across as well. Mar 10 of 14.6. He's on pole. The Aston Martin, it slows down. He's not going to improve. Short Marcus across the line to P5 is his final position. Denev 14.0. What about the Hasses? Ayrton coming across the line for the last few corners for the defending champ. Matthew up to P4 as well in the Alpine. Martin up to P2. Can Ayrton unseat Deneuve? No! P2 for Ayrton. What about Denis Ivanov? No, he's P2 as well. 2-3 for Haas. Yola Dia is going to be lost across the line, but he is not on a lap. Oh my goodness me. What a session. Lancer from P1 to P9 in the end. And there was no predicting that session at any point whatsoever. So it's Deneuve on pole, the Bulgarian putting his AlphaTauri on pole by just over a tenth from Denis Ivanov in the Haas. Defending champ Ayrton in P3. The Danish driver looking to continue his championship challenge, or his championship defence, I should say. Martin in P4 in the end, Bikakba P5, Matthew in 6th, 4th row is Speed Alcoholic and Cialda, Lancer and Marcus make up the 5th row, Godzilla and Robinet the 6th row, and then Yoladie and Clemo, Formula Clopit, Eisenborg and Trugster rounds out the grid. Didn't manage to get a lap in on those soft tyres. It wasn't quite dry enough for him, I don't think. Oh my goodness me. I need a drink. And by that I mean water. I am teetotal. Oh, right. I'll be right back. I'm just going to fill up my glass because I feel like this is going to be a crazy one. For the Dutch Grand Prix in ESRL. Start glitch, and we're underway. Deneuve with a fantastic start in the AlphaTauri, easily beating the two Hasses to turn one. Ayrton getting a better start than his teammate as well through the first corner. Ayrton up to P2, Denis Ivanov all the way down to 4th as Martin gets him at turn one as well. All very clean through the first sector. As everyone files through one by one. Clemo is round though in the Red Bull. Disaster start for him as Ayrton and Martin now swap positions. What a move from the Red Bull up to P2. Now as Deneuve continues to lead, more cars round. Godzilla and the Mercedes is round as well. Lots of positions changing up and down the grid, and we've got a virtual safety car already, which gives me a chance to put position change up. 4 positions up for Clopit and Trugster as well. 2 up for Martin and Lancer, and 1 up for Yola, Eisenborg and Speed. But disaster starts for Matthew, Godzilla and Clemo as well. And Denis Ivanov didn't get a great one either. Still a virtual safety car out there. Let's get tyres up. There we go. So hards for Deneuve, softs for Martin. That explains the good start. We're back under green flags, and Deneuve gets his restart perfect. A lot of drivers on mediums, a lot of drivers on softs as well. It's very surprising, but all of the top 3 in quali started on the hards. Deneuve sets the fastest lap to start with in this race. Martin right behind though on those soft tyres. Short Marcus and Matthew fighting further back through turn 1 as Clopit gets through as well on the softs in the Aston Martin. Great battling between those guys. Speed Alcoholic in the Ferrari trying to make progress as well on the softs. He's right behind Bikakba at the moment. But all of the top 7 within a car's length of each other, and then Cialdo a little further back as Kloppik tries to go down the inside for this fast right-hander. That would have been very, very brave from the Aston Martin. Doesn't go for it in the end, and lives to fight another day, I think. The 2 Alpines looking to charge behind as well. And so who's that? That's Bikakba round and Denis Ivanov, both of them round. I wonder if there was contact. There might well have been, but both of them round and all the way to the back as Bikakba's been disqualified. Oh no, for going the wrong way. He was just trying to let everyone past. That is very harsh from the game, but an early casualty from this one is Bikakba. That's such a shame. I was really looking forward to seeing him race. But Deneuve out in front still at the moment. Martin in P2 on those soft tyres. Ayrton just sticking with them for now on the hards. Speed Alcoholic quite a way back, out of DRS range at least, but he's out of DRS range of Lancer as well behind. So a fantastic start for Speed on those soft tyres, but when are those softs going to start to degrade? That's the question, as Kloppik goes for a wonderful switchback on Cialdo through the banked left-hander, and he's up to P6 in the Aston. Fantastic stuff from Kloppik. And all those soft tyre runners really putting them to good use for now. But Martin still not able to find a way past Deneuve at the moment. Although Ayrton is struggling to stay within a second for now. And in fact, Speed has caught up, obviously on those soft tyres, but within a second of Ayrton, and could put some pressure on the defending champ. But Martin putting all the pressure on Deneuve. DRS is going to be enabled, so are we going to see a move into turn 1? Here we go. DRS all the way through the bank corner. It used to be there was the activation point, but now it's before the bank corner, and Martin up to first position in this race. An easy pass with DRS as Kloppik makes another one up to P5 in the Aston. And on those soft tyres, he's all the way up there already, as there's positions changing all the way across the grid. Trugster looks like he went round, as well as Short. Marcus, he's down to P15 as well, as Clemo tries to put pressure on Yoladier. Bit of a snap there, it looked like, as Denis Ivanov gets passed by Trugster in the AlphaTauri, but is putting pressure back on Trugster as they go through Sector 1, right on the back of them. You couldn't put a piece of paper between the 2 cars, but Trugster stays ahead for now. Dennis just trying to recover after what happened to him earlier. But at the moment, just sitting behind that AlphaTauri. He's going to have to wait for the DRS zone, I think. Could he make a move into this next corner? It would be very risky. But Denis Ivanov not using that overtake, so I think he's going to wait a little bit before doing that. We're making that move. Lancer in the Alpha as well, just trying to stay with Kloppik, who's softs, I think, starting to lose their punch. Lancer into the pits. Is there damage on the Alfa Romeo? I wonder. He's got a 5-second penalty for speeding, so that is not ideal either, as Matthew goes down the inside of Cialdo. He's retired from the session, Lancer. I don't know why, but he's out of this race now, as Matthew gets past Cialdo indeed into turn 1. We're running the standard F1 point system in ESRL now, by the way, so only the top 10 will score points. So Godzilla got a lot of catching up to do for a start. Lancer's left the session. I hope he's okay. But Speed hugely on the curb there. Massive moment for the Ferrari driver. How has he kept that on the track? I do not know, but he's still going. That is a wonderful save of the car from Speed, but it's lost him around about 2 seconds. I do not know how he's not in the wall right now. That was quite something. But the top 3 all right with each other here. Martin still leads the race. Deneuve in P2, but Ayrton, never ever count this man out. He won race 1, I believe. He's here for race 2 to do it again. And he's right behind his old rival from last season, Deneuve. Martin leading for now, but those soft tyres are going to start to degrade very shortly. Cialdo around the outside of Matthew at turn 1. They're going to be side by side through turns 2 and 3. Cialdo backs out very sensibly at turn 3, and Matthew keeps that place for now. in his Alpine. Eisenborg into the pits for a set of hard tyres. Don't know if he started on the softs, but either way, he's in now, down to P15 as a result in his McLaren. As Cialda putting a whole host of pressure on Matthew now for P6. And all this is allowing Robinet to catch up. He's having a good start, the Frenchman, to this race. And now Cialda with the DRS. He's not going to make a move into this right-hander. That would be far too risky. He's going to wait for turn 1 again. But I'm sure Matthew's going to show him the outside once again. And in fact gets a great exit in the Alpine. Can he get a good exit out this corner as well? Yes, he can, but Martin getting passed by Deneuve into turn 1. Down the inside goes the AlphaTauri. Martin left just enough room, and both of them side by side for the lead through 2 and 3. Nearly contact between the two, but Martin retains the lead. Ayrton just watching with popcorn in his hand, hoping for something to happen between the two of them, but just about avoiding contact there, as Cialda does indeed get past Matthew into turn 1, and he's up to P6 now. Robinet still giving chase, but he's got Denis Ivanov just behind. We know how fast that Haas driver is from qualifying. Speed Alcoholic still holding on to 4th, but the top 3 right with each other, and Deneuve is putting all the pressure in the world on Martin here. Those soft tyres, I think, starting to give out, and Deneuve wanting to make this move and put a car between him and his old rival of NER, Ayrton. But these top 3 look well clear of the rest for now. But obviously a safety car would change that straight away. Here comes Deneuve round the final corner. DRS open. It's going to be an easy pass well before turn 1, I think. Martin shows him the wall nearly, but Deneuve finds the space and he's up to P1. We've got a yellow flag. That's an Alpine spinning. Both Alpines spinning by the looks of it. Marcus and Matthew both round, I think. And Matthew down to P12. That's such a shame for him. But Deneuve into the lead of this one, with Martin just behind in P2, and Ayrton still just watching and waiting in that Haas. Patience is a virtue for the Danish driver, as he knows he doesn't have to fight at this early stage, especially if Martin gets on the curb like that and loses a whole host of time. He's down to P3 now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him peel into the pits this lap. In fact, I think maybe those soft tyres giving him some trouble now, and Ayrton right behind Deneuve. That's just what Deneuve didn't want to see, and Ayrton looking to take the lead of this race now for the first time around this circuit. As Deneuve was leading at the start, and then switch positions with Martin, of course. But here comes Ayrton. He's pulling out of the slipstream, which is very surprising. I don't think he wants to make a move into turn 1. No, he's just going to sit behind the AlphaTauri. That's why he pulled out before turn 1, but Martin just about sticking with them. He's staying out for now, but when are we going to see him peel into the pits on those soft tyres, and where will he come out once he does pit, I wonder? Will he be in that kerfuffle between Dennis, Jola and Clemo, or will he be behind them? I think he'll be just behind them, but if he comes up to Denis Ivanov, he's going to be in trouble in terms of getting past, because I'm sure Dennis is going to put on as much of a fight as possible if he can help Ayrton win this race. But I don't know quite how powerful the undercut is around here. I can't quite remember. But we're about to find out. Marcus into the pits along with his teammate. Marcus for the hards, Matthew for the softs. As these 3 continue to be right on each other's tail. Ayrton with DRS again. Is he going to try and make a move this time? Or is he going to pull out the slipstream again? No, he's going to stay in the slipstream this time. And he's going to go for this into turn 1. No, he doesn't look to the inside. He just sits behind for now. Very patient driving from the defending champ. Knows he doesn't need to push to get past at this point. All that matters is who is winning when the checkered flag is reached. As looks like Dennis and Jola going for a battle through turn 1. Side by side they go through turn 2 as well, and 3. But Jola just about backing out on the outside, and Dennis up to P8 as a result. But Robinett holding his own there in P7. In fact, he's caught Cialda in the Ferrari. This is good stuff from the Frenchman. Looking to get himself into P6. Denis Ivanov still 2.1 seconds behind the two of them. As Martin putting pressure on Ayrton now, who seems to be struggling a little bit to keep with the pace of Deneuve, and especially out of that corner. That was a terrible exit for Ayrton. He's just about gotten DRS, I think. There's the detection point, and yeah, just about with the DRS. So he will surely survive this onslaught from Martin for now, but Ayrton can't afford another mistake like that out of that corner, because it can be very, very costly, as the detection point is on that straight and just afterwards. But seems like Deneuve has the pace on these two for now, as Yoladier still putting pressure on Denis Ivanov. But no flinching from the Haas driver for now. Robinett has come back out of DRS range of Cialda for now, but that gap seems to be evolving quite a lot, so keep an eye on it. Surprised the soft runners are still going. Thought they would have been in by now, but clearly those softs last a lot longer than I thought they did. As Yola now, as a big snap from Denis out of that corner, and Yola goes for it down the inside. He's going to have the DRS as well on the exit. There's a bit of contact. Matthews retired from the session at turn 2. That's a safety car. Perfect timing for Yola, who just about got past Denis Ivanov. The top three just about in time for them to get into the pits. All of them head in, as with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Disastrous for the defending champ. And a bit of pressure on the Dane, perhaps, causing that mistake. And how costly could that be by the end of this one? 5 seconds is a huge penalty. Martin onto the mediums. I'm assuming, given the softs have gone 12 laps, I'm assuming those mediums are going to go to the end here. So, but obviously Kloppet and Cialda don't think so. They've put on the hards. Same with Robinett. Denis Ivanov putting on the mediums. Although I suppose they didn't. Well, Ayrton and Deneuve didn't really have a choice, because they started on the hards. But Martin and Speed, I'm surprised they've gone for mediums. Denis Ivanov obviously thinks they'll get to the end as well. But instinct tells me it will be tight. But we'll see. As everyone now catches up to the safety car, and a chance for me to take a breather from this one. I'm gonna drink. Okay, everyone filing around. No more surprise pit stops, so a bit of downtime that we've got at this stage. Marcus into the pits though, in the Alpine, just taking an extra stop. I'm assuming a set of mediums, a set of softs for short Marcus. Now that's a surprise. I wonder if that's a mistake. He's going to come out just behind Godzilla and Trugster there. So that's very surprising from Marcus. I thought that would be mediums for sure. It's going to get Eisenborg back into this race as well, the safety car, so McLaren driver will be happy with that. Oh, right. I think it will be in next lap. Matthew has left the session and retired. I can't remember if he was already retired or not, but either way, he is out of this race. But Eisenborg has now caught up to the train, so the safety car should be in this lap, thankfully. A lot of weaving from Speed, who's a little bit laggy out on track, just to put it mildly. I think probably a mixture of South African Wi-Fi and also crossplay being on. At 14 of 36, we're only just over a third of the way through this race. Safety car is in this lap now. So Deneuve will lead us off, but Ayrton, the only one with a 5-second pit lane speeding penalty. It's very uncharacteristically careless, that was, from the defending champ, I have to say. During a safety car as well, this very, very not like Ayrton. I think Deneuve has gone early, maybe. No, he's still waiting. Obviously, that safety car needs to go into the pits before Deneuve can punch it. I think he's gone for it. He might be a bit too early. I think he is a bit too early. The safety car's in, but he's just about caught Ayrton out enough. But it's carnage further back. It's nearly 3 wide. Speed is round at turn 1, and more cars round. Martin going round as well. He fights with his teammate. There's a huge crash between Martin and Jolla. I think Martin just didn't realise Jolla was there, and they're both out of this race. We're down to 12 now in this one. As they all file through, that's going to be another safety car in this race, and I'm not surprised, but Jolla DA, I think, is going to feel very aggrieved by that one. And Deneuve slows down. This will help those ones who pitted onto mediums for sure, as they'll be able to get a lot more life out of their tyres. Look at Short Marcus, by the way. He was 13th or something when the safety car came in, and he's up to 7th in, well, it was about 4 corners, really. So that is quite an incredible restart from Short Marcus. But we do have another safety car here. Ayrton just hanging back. Is he going to pit to get rid of the penalty, or is he going to keep it on the car for now? I do wonder. I think it's a bit early to pit again, and he's going to be all the way to the back. I think track position is probably more important for him at this stage. Deneuve stays out, and yeah, indeed, Ayrton. No, Ayrton's in. Ayrton's in. He's going to serve his penalty. Clemo stays out. Cloppit in as well in the Aston Martin. Romane into the pits as well. Trugster pitting as well as the other Ferrari of Speed. So, and Cialdo, of course, at the back. Nothing to lose for him. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Ayrton into the pits for fresh medium tyres. Down to P7 as a result. 6 cars staying out. So Ayrton has got a job to do here. But of course, he's gotten rid of that 5-second penalty, and I think that's the real reason he pitted. Just to get rid of that penalty that was hanging over his head. But Deneuve now leads this race. Well, still leads this race. Cialdo has retired from the session. How has he managed that? How has he managed that? Let's ride on board with Speed. See if we can see the Mercedes car. He has dropped it. There's front wing there on the track. I think he's just binned it on his own under the safety car. Ouch. That's yeah, that's not the way that he would have wanted this race to end for him. but he is out of it. Only 11 cars left in this one. It's been an action-packed race for sure. Speed is, well, lagging all over the place, let's be honest. Robinett down to P10 in the Ferrari, but fresh tyres. Trugster in P9. Cloppett down to P8 thanks to his pit stop. And Ayrton, of course, P7. But Short Marcus into the pits as well for a fresh set of tyres, getting rid of those softs, so that will promote Ayrton up to 6th place. Marcus will be down to 11. I'm assuming a set of mediums for Marcus. It's a set of hards. I'm not going to pretend to know what on earth is going on with Marcus's strategy this race, but I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Down through turn 1. Is he going to be just ahead of Speed? Yes, he is. No, perhaps not. No, Speed just sportingly slowing down to allow Marcus past there. So Marcus staying in P10. Only the top 10 score, of course. So Deneuve still leads ahead of Clemo in the Red Bull. Denis Ivanov back up to P3 after his disaster earlier on. His contact with, I think, who was it that he had contact with? I can't remember now. Was it Martin? Can't remember, but he did go round. But he's back up to P3. His teammate Ayrton just like a shark in P6, just waiting for the safety car to come in. Keep an eye on that man. He is going to be absolutely rapid when this comes in. He's got 4 laps younger tyres than everyone ahead of him. But Deneuve, I think, has got to be the favourite to win this one. Godzilla and Dennis with a bit of contact before the restart. Luckily both getting away with it. Deneuve just making everyone wait. The safety car still not into the pits. Deneuve still hasn't gone yet. Now he has. He's caught Clemo napping a little bit. It's a few tenths. There's a huge crash behind. Massive, massive crash. Robinett's out of the race. Trugster and Cloppett were involved as well. But Clemo and Denis Ivanov side by side through sector 1 and through turns 2 and 3. But Clemo is ahead just about. But Denis back again round the outside of turn 4. And he's up to P2. What a move from Dennis. Ayrton up to P5 already, ahead of Eisenborg. 9 drivers left. Trugster's DNF'd as well. Godzilla up to P4. Ayrton P5 still. Eisenborg fighting with Short Marcus at the back there for P6. Marcus down the inside goes the Alpine, and Eisenborg onto the grass. In fact, a tiny bit of wheel banging between the two. I think Marcus has got that move done though. Yes, he has. And up to P6, and now Eisenborg under pressure from Speed as well in the Ferrari. Great camera shot this is, love that. But Speed backs out just before Eisenborg breaks late and keeps the position for now. As long as you finish, you'll get points now. But Cloppett down to P9. Is there a front wing on that Aston? Yes, but no front left end plate. Speed pushes Eisenborg through the final corner nearly. Here comes the South African down the inside. Is he going to send it into turn 1? Yes, he is. There's contact between the two. Speed with a bit of oversteer as a result. And both of them lose time, but Speed backs out just before turn 3. Eisenborg keeps the position for now, but this is great for Short Marcus as he's just streaking clear. Talking of streaking clear, Deneuve with a 1.7 second lead over Denis Ivanov now, with Clemo just behind in P3, still keeping up with the Haas for now. Ayrton in P5. Putting pressure on Godzilla. He wants to get back on the podium, does the defending champ at the very least, I'm sure. I don't know if there'll be team orders at Haas, whether Dennis will let his teammate through. I would have thought it's too early in the season for that. But Ayrton now down the inside of Godzilla. He sends it into this corner. This tight right-hander after the DRS zone. You usually don't see overtakes into there, even with the DRS, because that's what can happen. There was contact, but they've both survived. But they've both lost a lot of time. And as a result, Godzilla out of DRS range of Clemo. DRS now enabled this lap though, and Godzilla using a lot of VRS to stay ahead of the Haas, and stay ahead he does, and Ayrton has to try and get past at another point on the track. Clemo still keeping up with Denis Ivanov for now. Those hards are going to come into their own towards the end of this race, assuming there isn't another safety car, because those 8-lap-old mediums, they're going to be 24 laps old by the end of this one, and that is going to be quite a stint for those two at the front. So Clemo just hoping he can stay in range on those hards for now, and he could find himself in P2, which would be a fantastic result for him. Ayrton pushing Godzilla through again. Here he goes, a much better exit, entry into that right-hander, but Godzilla just about far enough ahead. I think Ayrton had to slow down a bit to avoid hitting the back of the Mercedes, and lost the exit that he wanted as a result. But look at this, Short Marcus within range now as well. Speed Alcoholics there as well, as Robinet has left the session unfortunately after his DNF. But here comes Ayrton now round the outside before turn 1 in that Haas. There's still going to be side by side. Is Godzilla going to fight back? He had to think about it in the Mercedes, definitely thought about it. But Ayrton up to P4 is now going to be charging after Clemo, as that's Formula Clop It round in sector 2 further back, unfortunately. Deneuve now leads this race by 2.3 seconds from Denis Ivanov and Clemo, as Ayrton is you can hear the Jaws theme tune, I'm sure, in that Red Bull, as Ayrton catches up slowly but surely. Clop It looks like he's round again. I think that's going to be a retirement. Yes, it is. On track. Hopefully that doesn't cause another safety car. It looks like just a yellow flag, thank goodness. But can we see where the Aston is DNF'd? No, it looks like the car despawned already. So Clemo just about sticking with him. No, he's out of DRS range. Where was the detection point? Did he get DRS? Yes, just about. But he's got to be careful not to make a mistake like that again. Look at that timing screen. That is a lot of DNFs. But Clemo still with the DRS for now, but Ayrton is catching up. 1.6 seconds is the gap as Short Marcus makes his way up to P5. He's no slouch. This Alpine driver finished, I think he finished P2, didn't he, in the standings last season? And of course the sprint season champion as well. So he can't be counted out either. He's up to P5. After, well, a very turbulent race for him, it has to be said. He was dead last at one point, I'm pretty sure. But up to P5. Godzilla still keeping with him. Speed struggling to stay with these guys, even on those fresher medium tyres. So Speed struggling for pace at this late stage of the race. But Godzilla with the DRS, is he going to send it into this next corner? He can see the flashing red light. He knows Marcus is vulnerable. He is going to send it to the inside. There's the inevitable contact, and Godzilla is round. I think it would have been better for him to live to fight another day there and just decide to back out of that one. But that's Short Marcus keeping P5 and Godzilla down to 7th. And here comes Speed now. As a result, Short Marcus vulnerable due to the contact, and Speed up to P5 after it looked like he was losing pace. But good stuff from the Ferrari. Back up into the top 5. Godzilla into the pits. I think this will be an early retirement, most likely, for the Mercedes. Yeah, there we go. So we're down to 7. Eisenborg still carrying on like a trooper. He's going to collect the points that he deserves as long as he finishes this one. Hasn't been on the pace. Has had one too many spins and incidents, and well, still going to finish P7. Such is the way this race has gone. But I think he'll be happy with a few points from this one. 1, 2, 4, I think that's 6 points for 7th. Not a bad haul, considering he's 12 seconds behind the next car. Deneuve leads by 3 seconds now, and there's contact between Marcus and Speed by the looks of it. Or maybe it was a mistake from Speed. Either way, Marcus back up to P5, and Speed playing catch-up once again as Clemo gets past Denis Ivanov. Into P2 goes the Red Bull. Those hards finally coming into play. But look at this. Ayrton is within DRS range as well, and he's going to be challenging for that second place. Deneuve is well clear, 3.4 seconds. I think it would take a A big mistake from the AlphaTauri driver to lose this one. But Dennis putting the pressure on Clemo. He's not going to let this go without a fight. But those mediums are just going to get worse and worse as the race goes on. And I think that was a bit of grass he touched there. It certainly was. He's side by side with his teammate. Ayrton down the inside, up to P3, taking full advantage of that mistake from his teammate. And the Danish driver onto the podium once again after that stop. And you have to wonder now, is he going to have a chance to win this? Is he going to get off after Deneuve? He's got 4 seconds to catch once he gets past once he gets past Clemo. But I don't think the Red Bull's going to make that easy. Hello, I think that's Tito Man, isn't it? Welcome to the stream. So many DNFs, what happened? Well, a lot of things. It wasn't just like one major incident that took out half the grid. It was just like, it's been like 6, 7 major incidents this race, I think. As Eisenborg now has retired from the session. He's binned it in the final corner. And there's another safety car. We've got 6 drivers left. We've got another safety car towards the end. Oh, guys, this has got to be better for next week, guys. Come on. This is, you know, yeah, I really, I didn't want to say it, but, you know, we can't be having a race with 17 drivers and only 6 left with a safety car on lap 25 of 36. It's not really on. But we're going to have an exciting end, that's for sure. Everyone's going to pit for softs here. The track position is important around this track, but I don't think as important as softs compared to old mediums and hards. So I think we'll see Deneuve peel into the pits for a set of soft tyres. There goes the race leader into the pits. Clemo in as well. Ayrton, of course, in for a set of softs, but he's braked far too late. He's done the same thing again, and he's got another penalty, and he's in fact retired from the race. I think that's a statement from the defending champ. I think that is a statement. So 5 left. 5 left. Clemo's gone on mediums. He doesn't think the softs will make it. I think he's wrong. I think the softs will definitely make it, and he's going to find himself in P5 before long. But 26 or 36. A sound bug as well, so that's just adding to the problems. We've got 5 people watching the stream. As Marcus and Speed get a bit of a safety car problem there. I think Speed trying to let Marcus through and the game not letting him. But Speed going off track and finally being able to let the Alpine through. I assume a few of those 5 are some of our many DNFs. There's still 11 laps to go, believe it or not. The safety car will be out for another lap. God, I apologise for the terrible noise, by the way, from the engines. That is the game. Luckily, that sound bug's only in spectator now, because it used to be when you were in the cockpit at the release of the last game, which was absolutely horrific. basically undrivable. um, but it's still a little bit annoying in spectator mode. So, all you 5 watching, how are you doing? How's your night? I assume those who've DNF'd not going to be having a good night. But, you know, good to have you all in the chat, regardless. The safety car will be in this lap. We're going to get another 9 laps of racing at the end of this one. But Denev, it's definitely his race to lose. He's on the soft tyres. His main rival has DNF'd in a statement, I think. Just retiring by himself in the pit lane. So I think that was a statement of "this is ridiculous" from Ayrton there. But we might well see this one not have points scored. But either way, Denev was going to lead us off, and there he goes. He's gone for it. 5 cars left in this race. It's like USA 2000 and whatever it was. Clemo down the inside of Dennis. Dennis down the inside of Clemo into turn 1. Those mediums really not working for the Red Bull at this stage, and they're not going to work for the whole rest of the race. I think he's going to find himself down in P5 from a near certain podium. Short Marcus putting the pressure on in the Alpine as well. He wants a podium in that blue car, and down the inside he goes. He is indeed into P3, and Clemo has made a terrible strategy call here. I think those mediums are going to be better at the end, but it's at what cost? As speed now is down the inside for P4 of the Red Bull. There's still side-by-side speed, just losing a bit of pace on the exit, and Clemo keeps position for now, but I think that's going to be game over. Speed sends it down the inside for this corner again. There's the inevitable contact once again. Every single time we've seen an overtake at that corner, there has been contact this race. As Speed Alcoholic, I think, just letting Clemo back past there sportingly, so back down to P5. The top 3, though, still in a battle at least. 8 laps to go as Denev leads from Denis Ivanov. These 3 are going to battle for the race win here. Short Marcus, no slouch, of course. And he'll be happy to be on the podium, but he's going to be wanting this race win. Speed could have waited for turn 1. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I think we've seen about 4 or 5 moves, attempted moves into that corner this race. Every single one of them has ended in contact or a car or a car spinning or getting damage. So yes, I think a bit more patience required waiting for turn 1. I think Speed just didn't want to waste time and didn't want to lose track of the top 3, but now look what's happened. And yes, well, these 5 still in the race. At least they're going to score some decent points if this race does indeed get scored. I wouldn't be surprised if it got wiped from the record, as Denev sets the fastest lap and is now out of DRS range of Denis Ivanov. And Short Marcus following the Haas through Sector 1. I think Denev has now run away with this one. 7 laps to go. So his softs will start to degrade at the end, but so will everyone else's. Everyone's on the same tyres in the top 3. So it's the battle for P2, and Short Marcus is looking very quick behind this Haas. Is he going to be the next one to try and make a move into this next corner coming up? I don't think so. He's too far behind. But he will get the advantage of DRS, and I think he's going to go for it into turn 1. Oh my god, that engine sound, I do apologise. That is absolutely horrific. That is horrifying. But here comes Marcus now. DRS enabled for the Alpine. He's going to go to the outside of the Haas driver and move done before turn 1. up to P2 for the British driver. And speed getting back past Clemo as well. Those mediums really not working out for the Red Bull. And what looked like it was going to be a certain podium has turned into 5th place, which, you know, it doesn't sound bad when you put it like that, but when you say it's 5th out of 5, then it does sound bad. But Marcus out of ERS, you can see the flashing red light on the back of that Alpine. I'm never going to go to the onboard camera ever again because of that horrifying noise, straight out of a horror movie. But Denis Ivanov right behind Marcus. And these two, I think, are going to be battling all the way to the checkered flag for 2nd place. Denis Ivanov with the DRS and with superior ERS, and put telemetry on, why not? 60% ERS on that Haas compared to 5% on short Marcus. I think Denis is going to have this one in the bag. This is in Monaco, I would understand with the DNF. Well, even with Monaco, to be honest, you know, even Monaco, because no one can really overtake, the only DNFs are from either people being idiots, which doesn't happen very much in the leagues that I know of, or just binning it themselves. But, I mean, here, like, well, we've got... Let's go through the DNFs, because I don't think Marcus is going to make an overtake. He hasn't got enough ERS left unless Denis makes a mistake. But let's go through the DNFs. So Ayrton, I think, DNFing deliberately to make a statement. Eisenborg binning it. Godzilla, I think, big collision with someone. I think it was a collision with Cloppet that took them both out, I think. Trugster getting involved in a massive crash at one of the safety car restarts. Same with Robinet and I think Cialda. Martin in a massive crash with Yola in Sector 1. Matthew, I think, binned it. Lancer retired for technical issues. And Bikakba got disqualified for going the wrong way. Because he was just trying to let everyone through after spinning. So most DNFs have been for incidents. Ayrton, the only exceptions were Ayrton making a statement, Eisenborg binning it, Bikakba getting disqualified, Lancer for technical issues, Matthew binning it. But I think every other one was for an incident, I think. But I can't 100% confirm that. But look at this, the gap to Deneuve has come down. I don't know if Deneuve is cruising or whether he is genuinely losing some pace in that AlphaTauri compared to Denis and short Marcus. But that gap's definitely coming down, 1.6 seconds now. I'm sure it was well above 3 at one point, but maybe I'm misremembering, because it's going back up again now. Clemo and Speed right with each other as well. Still for P4. I do wonder if Clemo's going to retake that position before the end. Only 3 laps to go. Deneuve continues to lead. I hope you understand the lack of excitement in the commentary. Well, I mean, if there was stuff going on, then I'd still be excited, even with the way this race has gone. But Nothing's really happening, guys. Although that gap, yeah, it's definitely coming down to Denev now. 1.2 seconds. Is Dennis going to be in DRS range for the final lap, I wonder? He could well be. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move, but that's a huge mistake that's cost him about 4/10 there, and I think that is any jeopardy for the race win gone, but there's certainly still jeopardy for P2 as Short Marcus continues to put pressure on Dennis. And Speed and Clemo right with each other as well. And we're about to start the final lap here of this, well, I don't know if you can call it a Grand Prix, a Petit Prix maybe. But here comes Short Marcus. He's got 0% ERS left. He has burned every last drop of it, and Ivanov's got enough to defend. Clemo not close enough to Speed on the exit the final corner to make a move on him into turn one. I don't think he's going to use his ERS. He is going to send it, but not close enough to make a move. Perhaps if he'd used his ERS, he could have made that move, I think. And he's into the wall. Oh, wow. That was a... I don't know if that was on purpose or if it was a mistake. Probably a mistake. Maybe making a statement like Ayrton was. But either way, that's Clemo out as well. He will get classified though, if anyone does. But Short Marcus, DRS enabled. But no ERS on your wagon, and it's going to take a mistake from Dennis for him to take P2. But, I mean, no matter what has happened this race, with all the things that have happened this race, you certainly can't fault this man. Denev comes across the line to win the Dutch Grand Prix, or Petit Prix as we've coined it. Denis Ivanov finishes P2. Marcus couldn't quite beat him to the line in a drag race. And Speed Alcoholic will come home for P4, which is last of the finishers, believe it or not. What in the name of Holy Mary was that? Fantastic question. That's a great question, Marcus. I would love to know the answer myself. It was one of the races of all time, I think is fair to say. So it was certainly a race that happened. It's a Bulgarian 1-2. Denev on the top step definitely deserves it. No matter what happened behind him, he led this race like a champ. And wins it in the end. Denis Ivanov finishing P2. Short Marcus on the podium, despite everything, in P3. And then Speed Alcoholic finishing P4. Safety car restart was flashbacks in 2020 when everyone binned it on the restart. Yeah. Oh my god. Are you listening to this music? What is that? Duh, duh, duh. Why is it so slow? I guess the sound bug affects the whole game sound, not just the engines. That's really funny. But yeah, Denev wins with fastest lap. Dennis finishes P2, Short Marcus P3, Speed P4, Clemo classified in P5, and I'm not going to bother going through the DNFs. So many screen freezes, it was undrivable most of the race. Yeah, makes sense. Well, I'm surprised, to be honest. I am surprised, because from my experience with crossplay, it hasn't been that bad. And obviously, it wasn't felt that it was that bad before this one, because it was enabled. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I know, I know ESRL is a lot better than that. So, no judgment from me. unless obviously this kind of race continues into the next few weeks. Yeah, it was a race. It was a race that was put on. There was some exciting battles throughout. Even despite everything, there were some exciting battles throughout the race, from lap 1 to lap 35. So thank you, guys, for that. But nonetheless, that was not great, to put it one way. Can't wait to watch this commentary back. Well, yeah. It was something. I hope I made it entertaining. Yeah, thank you all. We'll be back next week, in theory, for more ESRL, unless Scott decides to cancel a week, which he's done before when these kinds of races happen. But up to him. And like I say, no judgment from me. So thank you all, and I'll see you all next time for more ESRL. Goodbye, everyone. Have a lovely weekend.